All right, so we've published our full pink, and now we are on our yellow revisions. This is the last script that we're going to cover because I feel like I've shown you almost everything. There's just a few other things I want to cover. So here's one thing. Anytime you see a word like tonight, tomorrow, yesterday, next week, anything that denotes time, that should sort of set off an alarm bell for you as a script coordinator to say, like, all right, that means I now need to go check. So, like, something as simple as this Cole saying, I'll see you tomorrow. Now I need to go check and see if it actually tracks that that's when he and Bishop are seeing each other again. So anytime you see a word like that, that should just be a little bit of a buzzword for you. It's a change to kind of look out for. Now here they've added a scene. Let's say that you have gone back and looked at the prior PDF versions, and you've seen that this is actually the exact same scene that used to be scene 4, before it was omitted, which I think you'd have to go all the way back to the Studio Network draft for that. So you have a couple options here. Either you can do this is what I would do. You can edit this and say 2 through 3 has been omitted, and then I would edit scene number and I would change this to scene 4, and then here I would just write like the ADE or someone may say once a scene is omitted you can't unomit it. You need to call this scene A5. If they tell you to do that, fine, go ahead and do that. I would personally just call it scene 4 and then say that scene 4 has been unomitted. If they did have you call it scene A5, then I would write. The other thing I want to show you how to do is to add something called an addendum page. Let's say that Post or someone has decided they need a whole bunch of dialogue for these reporters, because they don't know how much they're going to use. They just need to have it for whatever reason. But the writer, your showrunner says like they don't want to clog up like a whole page with, basically give like a whole page of dialogue to this reporter that's going to have to be filmed on. They're going to find a more convenient time to film it, basically, and they don't want to put all this dialogue on this page. So what you're going to do is, this probably seems like the most convenient place. You're going to say no. Then we're going to go to the end of the script. Actually, before I even get to that, this is like a weird little final draft glitchy thing. Sometimes it'll put a star at the end of an act like this, and you can't like get to it to clear the star. So I'm just like going to, I've done brackets a lot. Let me just, to be extra clear about clearing stars. If you just go to clear revised, see, I always just do the keyboard command, but if you do clear revised, it's the same exact thing. But see, it won't clear it, because like the highlight can't get to this thing. So sometimes you have to actually like delete that. Let's just take off revision 1 for a second. Then write it again, back 6. And then now you can clear the star. That has nothing to do with an addendum page. That was just like a little glitchy thing I wanted to show you real quick. So basically the addendum is just going to be like starting a new act. So see, it says new act up here. Get our stars back on. Addendum. And then here you would just added dialogue for scene, whatever that scene was. We don't need to scroll back up and find it, but whatever scene it was, I would just say that, and then you can put all your extra you know, whether you're going to come up with the dialogue or the writer or whoever, you can just put it all here. Then on your title page, which I have open here, you would just let's actually here. Let's just do our title page legitimately here. Full Pink was published on June 14th, 2023. So then this would be Yellow Pages. And let's say that this is now June 15th. So you would list like your pages here, like whatever it is, 2, 3, 4, 6. And then I would just here like no, and addendum page has been added to end of the script. And then I would also include this in the email that you send out. So that's how to do an addendum page. Now, one other thing we're going to look at. We're going to get a little weird here. So, as you can see, a bunch of stuff has been taken out. And if we scroll, let's see how many pages of revisions this would be. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pages of revisions. But like, not only does this look really sloppy and gross, there's probably only like 3 pages of content here. So what we are going to do, we're going to uncheck revision mode. And we're going to highlight all of this all the way up to the beginning of the act. Actually, no, that's not true. Up to here. And then I'm just going to Command X cut that. Then I'm just going to press enter here and paste. So I like some of what I did, didn't like some of the other things I did. No, I really didn't like some of the things I did. That's okay. So all for learning. Just going to go here. Then this. Let's try this. Command X cut that. Everything else looks okay. So let's see. Our content looks like it's all, you know, there's no big gaps anymore in our content. But we have given Final Draft a heart attack. Because look what's happened to our page numbers. 910, 910A, 910B, 910C. Having not done this and leaving it the way it was before, there's technically nothing wrong with that. Again, it just looked sloppy and there's no reason to put out, you don't need to put out 6 pages of revisions for 3 pages of content. That's just a waste of paper. It's a waste of time. I wouldn't advise doing what I'm doing now. I wouldn't advise that if you're kind of just starting out, but once you get a little more comfortable as a script coordinator, you know, I think you're okay doing this. All right, so the first thing we need to do is to try to eliminate some of these pages. Let's try this. Will it just let us highlight? See what happens if we just highlight all this and then delete. There we go. So I got rid of those. This just says yes here. I think this was supposed to be Ryan's line. We can put our revision mode back on now, because this is a conversation between Ryan and Ron. All right, there we go. Now, we got to take care of these page numbers. So this should be page 9. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to production, locking tools, edit lock page number. And we're just going to change this to page 9. Very good. Now we're going to go down here. Production. So now it's not going to let it won't let us choose edit lock page number until we relock the pages. So lock A pages are now locked. This is still page 9. Locking tools, edit lock page number 10. So basically you can override final draft to make the pages sort of collate the way you need them to, because all that matters is that they collate in the continuity of the script. So now though, we are missing page 11. So what do? We are going to, so it's going to let us edit lock page number without locking A pages. I don't really know why Final Draft did that, but that's fine. Edit lock page number, and now we're actually just going to call this page 10-11. So now, instead of having 6 pages of revisions here with all those A pages and all those big gaps, we have 3 pages of revisions with no A pages. 9, 10, 11, and then 12. And actually, let's do this because it looks cleaner. Edit lock page number 10. Let's not do the space. That was a little cleaner. So, we're not going to go over again making sure the pages collate correctly. You know how to do that. But anytime you do, one of these kind of big things like what I just did, you definitely want to be super sure that the pages still collate correctly. And then, you'd have your title page and, to list this as a revision page, you would just list it as page, 10-11. One other thing about, doing these like page number overrides, I said it before, but just again, like Final Draft, not as like a company, but like the program really doesn't like it when you override its page numbering. So when you do something like this, you want to go like scroll through and just make sure that every page number is right. Because something that will happen, and like this, it didn't happen this time, but I just put this in because it's something that could happen, is like it may, from having done everything we did on like pages 9 to 12 or whatever, it may change 57 to like 57C like this. And then you're just going to have to go edit lock page number and change it and fix it. And you're probably thinking, like, if it's going to cause all this wonkiness, like, why am I going to do that? I'll just put out the A pages and just live with them. I don't know. I would just say don't let Final Draft's, like, glitchiness prevent you from doing the best job you can and making the script, as nice and neat and clean and clutterless as possible. One other little thing to look out for is with the header. I had this issue. This only happened to me one time ever. I had put out a script, and then production was like, "Oh, the the page numbers after page starting with page 10 are not there," and it was literally because 9 is obviously a single digit number, and then once it this is a bad example because it's 10-11. But once it became double digit page numbers, that extra little number made it fall off the margin. So you just had to go, like, I went here and it had fallen off to it had fallen like onto the next page or onto the next line, like down here. So sometimes when you're scrolling to make sure your page numbers are all good, make sure you scroll to the double digit page numbers to make sure they haven't fallen off. So I believe that is all. Then, so we're going to consult our one-line schedule here that we haven't looked at in a long time. We're going to see that scene 1 shoots tomorrow. So in our email, which we already have up and ready to go here, we're going to include a few things. First of all, in our subject line, we're going to say, parenthetical here, affects tomorrow. Hello, blah, blah, blah. We're going to explain, please note, I would probably put this in bold. Minor dialogue changes have been made to scene 1, which shoots tomorrow. Also, I would explain that the addendum page has been added to the end of the script on page 58. And then you would send it off. Alrighty, the only other thing that I want to show you is we talked about watermarking, how you're probably going to be publishing the script through a program like Synchronize or something that's going to watermark names on it. For everyone it goes to, just to show you what I'm talking about with a watermark. This is a program called Brunson Watermarker. I think it cost me like $30. So when you're watermarking, you can just drag and drop a PDF, not the final draft file. And then you can just watermark it with whatever name you're told to. And it's just going to look like that. So when you go do your distro, like through Synchronize or whatever watermarking program, everyone who gets the script, they're going to get their name watermarked on it like this. But this kind of thing is just helpful if you don't want to have to like log into Synchronize and do all that just to send out like one script to someone, like to go to an actor or whatever. It's just kind of easier to have a program like this to just do one. But that's what a watermark is going to look like.